Hey everyone, welcome to Mindful Mindsets, and today is Wednesday, so it is story time. And this story is about a mighty king. But this king knew that in order to be fulfilled, he had to have a lasting and profound legacy. So he had a giant palace, huge palace, and many people came to see his palace, and they remarked, "Oh, great king, what a wonderful palace you have." And he said, "Yes, have you ever seen anything like it?" And they said, "No, we've seen many palaces, but you have the greatest palace of them all." But very quickly, he became very unfulfilled, and he realized that if he really wanted a legacy, he had to have two palaces. So he built another kingdom. He built another palace even bigger than the one that he had before. And he was so excited, and for weeks and months he built this palace, and when it was over, he was so happy. He knew that he was finally going to be fulfilled. And people came and said, "Oh, great king, not only do you have one magnificent palace, but now you have two, and both are more magnificent than any palace we've ever seen." And he thought he was finally happy. But after everyone came and remarked on his palace, he thought, well, there have been other kings with two palaces. Maybe I need three palaces. But before he could work on construction of his third palace, he found out the real answer to his problems. He realized that there was a traveling monk, and all this monk carried was a blanket, his robes, and a lamp that he had been given. He never worked for food. He only ate what people gave him, and he just went from city to city, town to town, sleeping on the streets, and sharing his perspective on life and what he thought it meant to be happy and fulfilled. But with him, he always carried a lamp that was given to him when he was just a small child. He would light the lamp. He would read from the lamp. The lamp would give him heat when he needed it. But the lamp's true power was that it was a magic lamp. Now, the monk never even used this magic power, but unlike other magic lamps that just grant you what you wish for, this lamp gave you double of what you wished for. And the king thought, "How magnificent! I need this lamp! Bring me this monk!" And he thought, one palace will become two, two will become four, and I will finally be fulfilled. And he brought the monk to his second new and lovely palace, and the monk said, "Oh, your majesty, it's so nice to see this palace. It's such a lovely palace. It's the best palace I've ever seen. I've been to many cities, and this is the most magnificent of them all." And the king said, "Yes, I hear you go from city to city, and you don't even travel with a bag, and you carry around that heavy lamp. Perhaps I could take that from you." And the monk said, "Oh no, sir. This lamp was given to me a long time ago. It represents a lot to me. It was a great gift, and I must keep this lamp." And the king said, "Well, young man, I can give you an even better lamp. I can give you a jewel-encrusted lamp made of gold that will keep you warm, and you can trade it for many other great things." The monk said, "No, sir. I don't need anything. I just like this lamp because of what it represents to me, the kindness that I was taught as a young boy, and I carry this lamp to remind me of that kindness." The king said, "But I can give you anything you want. Just give me that lamp." The monk said, "No, sir. I'm sorry. I wish you the best, king, but I must leave now." And before the king could even respond, the monk left. And the king flew into a rage. "How dare he deny me that lamp! I could use that lamp. He doesn't use it. He doesn't even have anything. If he used that lamp, he would at least have two blankets. I could change the world with that lamp, and he is denying me this lamp." And he whipped himself into a huge frenzy, and he brought his henchmen and said, "Bring me that lamp!" And the henchmen went. They found the monk. They beat him up in an alley, and they stole that magic lamp. They brought it back to the king, and the king was so excited. And he said, "Everybody out!" And he locked himself in his bedroom that was bigger than many kings' palaces. And he was shaking with excitement, and he said, "O great lamp, give me 100 pieces of gold." And the lamp said, "O great king, why just 100, when a king such as you should have at least 200 pieces of gold?" And the king said, "Yes, it works." And he said, "You're right. I'm being too limited in my views. Give me 1,000 pieces of gold." And the lamp said, "O great king, why 1,000 when I could give you 2,000 pieces of gold?" And the king said, "You're right. Give me 10,000 pieces of gold." And the lamp said, "Why 10,000 when you could have 20,000 pieces of gold?" And then the lamp said, "Is that even what you really want?" And the king said, "Oh, this lamp is expanding my view. I'm going to be so happy and fulfilled." And he said, "You're right. Give me another palace." And the lamp said, "But king, you already have 2 palaces. Why just 1 more palace when you could have 2 more palaces?" And the king said, "Yes, give me 4 more palaces." And the lamp said, "Why not 8? And the king said, "Yes, give me 100 women." And the lamp said, "Why just 100 women when you could have 200 women? It'll keep you busy." The king couldn't believe it. He thought, "I'm being so limited in my worldviews. I could have anything. I could have more and more and more." And this went on for hours and hours, and the king realized that he was expanding what he needed and wanted. He needed more. He needed the world. He needed 2 worlds. And then 3 days later, the king starved to death and died. And that's the end of the story. So, I hope you got something from this story, and that it is great to strive for new things. It is great to want progress. We need to challenge ourselves. We need to try to strive for things. But if our attainment of material goods and achievements is how we become fulfilled, we'll never get there. Because as soon as we want 100 pieces of gold, as soon as we get that, we'll want 200. As soon as we get that, we'll want 400. So the fulfillment must come from our own hearts and from the striving towards things, the progress that we're making, not from the actual attainments. So I hope you enjoyed this story. I hope this mic worked. I hope the sound quality is a little better. So we're making progress here at Mindful Mindsets. We're trying to make it bigger and better, and we'll see you next time.